Hello everyone! We are going to be doing some Gen 7 RNG today. I want to make some guides so people can get into this on their own because it is fun, it's rewarding, and it is actually not that hard to do. So in the comments below, in the description, I'm going to put links to the various tools that you will need to use this. You can do this on Citra, or you can do this on an actual 3DS. There isn't really a huge difference between them, other than, you know, obviously Citra would give you the ability to actually make save states and go back, and so it gives you a little bit of leeway, especially if you find a seed that you really want to get a specific spread on. But forget all that for now. Right now we're going to be using the Citra RNG script because I've got this on Citra, but if there's demand for it, I'll also show using it on a 3DS itself, so you can see that as well. It's not different functionally, but there's a couple of different tools that function a little bit differently. But you can see right here I have my RNG script set up over here. There's a lot more to it, but we're starting out with the Gen 7 ID, Trainer ID / Secret ID / Trainer Shiny Value RNG, because we're going to start from the very beginning. Now, some of you might be asking, why would I want to manipulate the RNG to have my own specific RID? Well, the answer to that is there's any number of reasons, honestly. You could want to have some sort of wonder card or in-game gift that has a specific Trainer ID and Secret ID, and if you have the same, if everything matches, you can then rename that Pokemon and you can have it with whatever nickname you want. Sometimes you want that, sometimes you want a mystery gift to change that. Sometimes you have a number that is very specific to you and you want to have that Trainer ID. For me, I want to use a number that's very important to me. That's my password for everything, and that's 123456. So, we've got our game. We're starting out at the very beginning here. We've connected our RNG, so we have some initial seeds and everything. So what we're going to do is we are going to look at our RNG tool. And here we go. Alright, so this is the 3DS RNG tool. Admiral Fish and the rest of the people over at Pokemon RNG helped develop this tool, so definitely thanks to them, because this tool gives you everything you need. You can see there's a whole lot of different things that you can do. We're going to start out with ID RNG. Make sure you've got the right game selected here. This, again, only works for the 3DS. Other gens use different tools. But I'm running Ultra Moon. Your seed, that is what you have here. So I'm going to copy over my seed. Alright, Trainer Shiny TSV, it stands for Trainer Shiny Value. We don't have one, because we don't actually have an ID yet, so ignore that completely. And then TRV, this is, again, you don't know what this is yet, but if you have a Pokemon where the TRV matches your the Pokemon TRV matches your TRV, if you were to transfer that to Sword and Shield, it would be a Square Shiny. Just a note, if you care about it, if you're going to transfer a Pokemon there, you know, match it up. Why not? It could be fun. Alright, we're going to start this out we're going to put all our defaults here. Gen 7 uses a different Trainer ID than the other gens. So if you put in a TID here and then you search for it, it won't be correct. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to calculate. We got our seed, and you see a number of frames. And looking over here, you see our frame is currently 804, and it stays there. The great thing about Gen 7 ID RNG is that it is very simple to get. It's really simple. So let's put in, we want a specific Gen 7 TID. I want my password 123456. So yeah, you could put that in. You could also put in a TSV if you want something specific there. The current seed, you could put in some seeds there. You could use a regular expression if you want. Whatever. Either way, I'm going to put in 123456 because that's the trainer ID I'm looking for. I have G7 TID checked because this is a Gen 7 trainer ID. And of course you could change this. You could do a TID SID secret ID combo. You could just do your S secret ID, whatever. Alright, so I did calculate, and it actually did give me a result here, and it says frame 1145, and that'll give you the Gen 7 trainer ID of 123456. TID, again, this won't actually show up in your game, so you can kind of ignore that. Secret ID, again, that's secret. Not shows up in your game. It doesn't show up in your game. Trainer shiny value. I've mentioned this a couple times. In Gen 7, when a Pokemon is generated, it will have a Pokemon shiny value, PSV. If PSV matches your TSV, that Pokemon will be shiny. It's pretty simple in theory. So that's why you want to know this value for sure. And last but not least, you've got your TRV, which is A in this case, so if it matches, Pokemon will be square shiny. So we know this. We got frame 1145. So that'll be our target. We'll just right click it. Well, we'll just type it in here. 1145. It doesn't matter as much. You don't have to... You'll see in a second why it doesn't matter having it set as a target. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hide this now. And we're going to start up. And you're going to instantly look at the frame. As soon as I choose English, begin the game. And then we go through the spiel that you've seen 100,000 times. You see, instantly, right as soon as the thing started up, the frame jumped to 1131. So that's why 1145 isn't a big deal. Alright, so I trust you've probably seen this quite a few times, so we're going to go through, and this is just for RNG purposes. I'm not going to do anything specific in regards to the trainer itself, but I will explain a little bit more when we get closer. So you're just going to go forward, just keep going through this. Look at the Rockruff, look at the bee. Wonder why he never wears a shirt. Alright, so this is an important choice because you cannot go back on it. So pick whichever trainer you want. I'm going to go with this one. Again, it doesn't matter. But you say yes when you got the right one because you can't go back. Alright, so now, here's your name. And you can see our frame is still now our frame is 1132. So, the way the frames work for the trainer ID portion at least, is you enter your name, and if you say no, it will advance by 1. The frame will advance by 1. And so you can repeat this as many times as you want to get to whatever your desired frame is. So remember, the desired frame for me is 1145. So, I just have to say yes and no. I just have to say enter a name and say no a whole bunch of times to get to 1145. But don't say yes, because that'll lock you in. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this a bunch of times, and we will join in again as soon as I get to 1145. Okay, so here we are. We have made it to frame 1145. And so keep in mind, this time you're actually going to say yes. So enter in whatever name you actually want to use. I'm going to go through. And we're going to say yes. So this took a couple of minutes to do. So if you see a frame that is like 2000 or something like that, it's going to take a while to get there. So just keep that in mind when you're looking for a trainer ID. And also keep in mind that the initial seed is time-based. So if you don't like what you have in your seed, just restart the game. That's all you have to do. It's really simple. So there we go. We have to go through our normal kind of prologue-y stuff. Now, how do you check to make sure you got the right seed, you got the right value, you got the right trainer ID? Well, as soon as you can save the game, and then if you happen to have PK hex or something like that, you can open it up and then look at your trainer information and make sure that everything matches up. Barring that, you can go ahead and get your starter and make sure that the trainer ID matches if that's the thing that you are trying to get lined up. If you're trying to line up your trainer shiny value or your SID, you kind of have to go with the PK hex version. But since we're just kind of waiting to get our starter, I'm just going to fast forward through everything here until we get to our starter. I'm just going to pick the first one because I'll do the starter RNG afterwards. So just hang on tight. 3 months later. It'll be about 3 months later. I'll see you in 3 months. Okay, here we are. We finally got our Pokemon. Man, it takes a long time to get a starter in this gen, I'll tell you that much. But I didn't worry about doing any of the RNG for it. That's next time. Next time we'll do the starter, and generally with the process you'll follow for almost all stationary or in-game gifts. We just have to wait to shove this little bird into a Pokeball, and then we'll go ahead and check its summary to make sure that we got the right trainer ID. Again, if you happen to have another way to view your save, go ahead and do that because it's going to be faster. Unfortunately, you don't get your passport till much later, so you can't check that right away. Alright, but here we can see that my trainer ID, at least the OT is Cappy, obviously, me, and the ID number is 123456, so it looks like our RNG worked. So this is the entire process. Just find your initial seed, look for whatever trainer ID you want, pick your character, say no a whole ton of times until you finally hit your right frame, and then start the game. It's really simple, as opposed to like Gen 6, where there's a whole bunch of timing issues, or the other gens as well, for that matter. So, there's no reason you can't get whatever ID you want. Anyways, that's all we got for this one. Next time, I'm going to be going over starter RNG and getting a shiny or desired IVs for that. Go into more detail on it. And it's going to be a lot of fun. you can get some really, really fun results out of it. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all soon.